Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Civilization. What this video is gonna be about is how to defend your city, how to protect yourself from your enemies. Your server is probably at war, you're probably wondering which are the good commanders, how you should defend your city, which are the steps, what you should do if you get rallied. I'm gonna start first and talk, then I'm gonna show you a small video about me defending against a rally. And then I'm gonna talk about the commanders. So let me get started. First of all, I'm gonna be frankly and as honest as I can with you. If you're a free-to-play player, you have to realize that you do not have that high amount of troops. And if you wanna defend solo, it's gonna be really hard for you. My best advice, if you are a free-to-play and if you know that your kingdom is at war, is that you should stock yourself with shields and teleports. Now you can see that an 8-hour peace shield, it's 500 gems. You might want to pop one if you know it's your server is at war, if you know there is a chance that any time a war can pop up. It's very highly advisable to pop out an 8-hour shield when you go to sleep. It's 500 gems. You're probably wondering, how can you make so many gems? Well, when you defeat passes from the monument, when you defeat shrines for the first time, you make a lot of gems. You need to prioritize your gems instead of just throwing them away. You need to think about preserving what you are building. If you lose some farmers, that's alright, but you don't want to use your main city. You don't want to lose your main troops into the city, which is your main army. You want to protect that. And that is very important. That's why peace shields, they are very helpful. A second way, if you are online and you get rallied, you can teleport away. So if you get rallied and you know you cannot take it, you just simply teleport away. Now another way you can stock yourself with peace shields or teleports, it's by checking the mysterious merchant on the other section. Here they pop reduced price peace shields. That is correct. And teleports as well. So you just teleport away. Now I know I have the Hive video which I mentioned that is pretty wrong to teleport away. War is very complicated. Trust me when I tell you this. War is very complicated. There is various again of situation where it might be good to teleport, it might not be good to teleport. Another way what you can do if you can get rally, if your city is now surrounded by any other armies, you can empty it of troops. Let the rally hit empty walls. Then you get your troops back inside. This is another way you can protect your troops. As I mentioned, various ways how to protect your city. Now I'm gonna just show you a video where I defended against a rally. Let me just get it ready. This is a video that you can also find it on YouTube. It's a 2-hour video. That is correct. There was like 5 hours of battle, and from 5 hours of battle I made a 2-hour video. I'm just gonna show a couple of minutes out of it about defending a rally. Before I go any further, I have to show you something to understand. This is an old video, and this is how the talents used to be, like, I don't know, a month and a half ago, before they updated with the new talents. So because the reason I'm showing you this talent is just so you can understand the video that you are going to watch and the heroes that the people used when they attacked me. Because the talent tree was like this, every commander had it like this. You could do any kind of builds with any kind of commander. That's how the talent tree used to be before. Now it's different. Every commander has specific specializations. Alright, so let me start the video. I'm gonna mute the other Legend Ronnie, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to mute the sound because I want to talk, not him. You can see the amount of troops that I have in my reinforcement at the moment when the rally is going to march. So I'm just gonna start playing it. Obviously the other Ronnie is gonna talk, but don't mind him. So 165,000 reinforcements. So that's how much reinforcements I had at the start of the rally. And you can see that he's using Tomoe as a main commander. So that is the reason when I was trying to explain and show you the talent tree. Because the reason he was using Tomoe is because it was his highest level. And the reason he's using Mars Woman as a second, I have no idea about that. You might have to ask him yourself. Alright, so there is 1.1 million rally that is going to hit me. At that point in my defense, so I got more reinforcement. So at that point in my defense, I had Boudica and Charles Martel. Now the only reason why I managed to defend, well, I spoiled everything. The reason I managed to defend was most likely because of Charles Martel's shield. Alright, so now the rally is gonna hit my city. Now you see the amount of damage that I take because I have very high talented commanders. Now Boudica is continuing to reduce the damage of the rally. And I'm not sure if you noticed when Charles Martel was doing the shield that it can literally almost block 1 second of the rally attack. Now I think the rally is getting reinforced. Yes, that's correct. So the rally got reinforced. So 1.1 million plus at least 150,000 more. That is hitting my city. So I'm not sure if you're noticing, but I believe that I'm doing more damage to the rally than the rally is actually doing to my city. The extra damage that you see on the rally, that is because of Boudica's force skill. Now because Boudica is basically on the nuking skill or the skill talent path, that is why you can see that she's keep doing her main skill, and this is without expertise, if you're wondering, and that's why Charles Martel is keep doing his shield. Now, I'm just gonna speed it up. I'm gonna say anymore. So that's why I'm trying to say there's various of situations. So you can see that now I'm going really thin as well because of the numbers of troops, and the talents made a difference from the rally. And I think this is yeah. So anyway, I managed to beat them. Why they went so far ahead? So that is what I'm trying to say. I managed to beat them. So that is me defending a rally. That is the British with the 20% garrison. You guys didn't see it, but during the battle I was keep being reinforced. So for this particular rally that I had, Boudica and Charles Martel, they did a very good job. But this is the point of the video, is that if you don't have the numbers, you can have any commanders in the world that you want, but if you don't have the troops, if you don't have the numbers to defend, you will never defend. So let me take out the video. Alright, so let's talk about commanders, and let's talk about more situations that can happen in the world. Alright, so for that particular defense, because they were my highest skilled and talented commanders at that point, Charles Martel was nowhere near to max. At that point, that was like 3 months old video. So obviously my Charles Martel barely had his first skill maxed out, and who knows, another one of them. But I think my Boudica was next to max, and the expertise was not implemented into the game at that point when I was being rallied. On that particular video, I was being rallied one more time, which I defended it more easily than this one, and I also helped defend another rally against another player. Right. So the importance of defending your city, I mentioned it again, I mentioned it before. If you are a free-to-play, you have to realize that you do not have the numbers to solo defend. Even myself, which obviously I was spending, even at that point, I was spending some money into the game, so I was speeding up troops and so on. Even at that point into the game, I wasn't able to solo defend. So commanders, they do matter. They have an importance, but it also matters to have the numbers. If you don't have the numbers, you won't be able to defend. If you have 2 million troops of tier 4 in your city, and let's say you get hit by a 350,000 tier 5, just one group, you're gonna beat him. Your 2 million tier 4, they have so much stats and bonuses together that they're gonna beat him. But if he's going to hit you with 5 groups of 350,000 tier 5, then you're gonna lose everything. That's why peace shields. If you know if you're at war, for your peace of mind, peace shields. Another way you can get those peace shields is from your alliance shop. You just ask your rank 4 officers, if you don't have peace shield, you just ask them, bro, can you put a peace shield? They can restock, and you can use your silver coins for your peace shields. That's why resource management, guys, is very important to preserve and save what you have, rather than just throwing your resources away and then you get hit, you get 0, and you get angry about the game. You can also help yourself without blaming someone or something. If you are shielded, everything that your enemy can hurt you is your farmers. That's it, your farmers. You don't farm, that's alright, but you save what you have. Also, I mentioned teleporting away from a rally. It also can save up your city, because if you have the war frenzy, you know that you cannot shield, so that is very, very important. You know the war frenzy, whether when you scout or when you fight with someone. Let me just show you what I'm trying to say. Alright, so I'm just gonna scout someone random. You see, I get the war frenzy. When you get the war frenzy, you cannot shield. For this particular minutes, you cannot shield. So also you want to bear that in mind if someone ever starts a rally. You might want to stop all your actions for the time being so you can shield. Now let's talk about the commanders, which is, as I mentioned, is the second most important part in your defense. Your best options for defense is Charles Martel and Richard I, and if you want to see their defense build, I'm gonna put a link into the description of the video for the talents. I'm not gonna start popping up talents right now. Your Charles Martel or Richard I as main commanders is your best option for your defense. They have the best defense talent pad. They have the garrison and the defense talent pad. That is the reason why. I'm just gonna pop one of them. Alright, just for this video, I'm just gonna bring up one of them. Charles Martel. I'm just gonna bring Richard I. Richard I garrison. Here it is. And I'm gonna take myself out of it, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the Richard I talent build. So obviously you have to do the green, you have to do the red, you have to do the blue, and then you have to do the yellow one. At the point when he's gonna reach level 60 and 6 star, I have to tell you that he will be insanely defensive in your garrison. This can work for Charles Martel as well, don't get me wrong. This can work for Charles Martel as well. So this is their talent pad. This is the talent pad that I would advise, and probably is the most defensive talent pad that you can reach. It's the same one, as I mentioned, is the same one for Charles Martel. If you can group them together, which I have them in my own defense right now. You can see that I have Richard as main and Charles Martel as second. The reason Charles Martel is a second, that is because my Charles Martel is on infantry talent pad, and my Richard is on an experimental defense build, which I'm just trying, which is this one. Is not ready yet. The best option is the garrison one. I mentioned that is your best option, is the garrison one. This is experimental, so until I can prove that is gonna work, I'm gonna let you know, because it's gonna involve more points in the garrison. So as I mentioned, this is experimental. I showed you the image, the right image for the garrison. Now obviously, if you're free to play, you might not have these particular commanders to defend yourself, and I'm gonna try to give you my best tips and advices about it. If you're a free to play, unfortunately, and I hope they will fix this in the future, any epic commander as a free to play, they are very bad in defense, any of them. Now you're probably saying why. Well, the reason I didn't start with the commanders, and the reason I started the video trying to talk to you and explain to you about peace shield, teleporting, resource saving, so you can have 4 shields, that is the reason I started the video like that. If you're a free to play and you get hit by a pay to win player, that's it, you're zero. It might sound cruel, but I've zeroed enough player to know. And I spend money. I'm paying for in the game. I'm buying a lot of stuff. I'm not lying about it. But I'm not really a deep spender like many of them. If I lose troops, for me that's very costing. But I did 0 players and I know what I'm talking about. So if you are free to play, your chances to defend if you are hit by a pay to win, it's next to 0. Unless you get heavily reinforced by your allies, you will not be able to defend. That's why shielding, teleporting, these are the best tips for a free to play. I play other mobile games. Some of them they are very old. They are war games similar like this one, and this is the strategy that is being applied in those games as well. Free to play players, they have shield on all the time. If you're unshielded, then you're a target. That's how you should think about it, especially if your server is still at war, if there is still battles. You need to consider yourself a target. But if you, for your best hopes, if you want to defend your city as a free to play, my highest recommendation is ECMG Moondog. It grants you some garrison defense. It's gonna debuff the main target that is gonna hit your city, which usually is a tanking target, and you want to take it down, so it's gonna reduce the defense. And then you have extra damage, and this will also help is if you get hit by multiple groups. But if you get hit by multiple groups, it's I mentioned it's gonna be really fast for you to go down. Unfortunately, but this is gonna help you. And his talents, he has a very unique garrison and attack talent path, which I mentioned. There's gonna be a link in the description below, but if not, I'm just gonna pop it up right now, and I think I can bring myself back as well. All right, so let me just put his talents here as well, since I'm talking about ECMG Moondog. Alright, so this is his garrison talent path, and I think I don't have to take myself out again. I think you guys can see that the red circle is right there on the bottom left. So it's the same as the other one. You have to do the green, then you have to do the red, then you have the blue and the yellow. Now I'm gonna take off the image and let me go to his talents. You're probably wondering why is like that. That's because Lord of War, if your ECMG Moondog is gonna reach 6 stars, that is gonna be 9% attack when your troops enter the battle. So when you get attack, you start with 9% attack. Then you have a fortress, which at some point is gonna go up to a maximum of 10%. So that is an a significant amount of attack that your garrison is going to have. Now imagine if you have a large amount of troops. Now if you have a large amount of troops, that's gonna be a lot of attack. And me personally, if I would have to group as a free-to-play player, my ECMG Moondog in garrison with someone would be with Joan of Arc. Now the reason why is very obvious. You get another 25% bonus on attack. So that you get like 19 just from those particular talents, plus other talents, plus 25 from here. So your garrison will have a really significant increase in attack. Not to mention, and not to go any further, that Joan of Arc is also going to boost your all 3 types of troops that are in garrison, except the siege. But you will have all 3 types of troops. So all these bonuses, they're just gonna add up for your garrison, and some additional rage regeneration. Healing is not really gonna make much of a difference at that large amount of troops or that large amount of nuke, but the attack and the divine revelation will make a difference. Not to mention that large amount of attack, when strike back is gonna pop up, so that's gonna be a tremendous amount of damage. Now another defensive situation for your city, if you can ever make, is ECMG. Now if you ever have a maxed out ECMG or close to maxed out ECMG and you're using with Sun Tzu in your garrison defense with the skill talent pad, so not the garrison talent pad, this might sound a little bit weird, but that is correct, with the skill talent pad, I pray for everyone who's going to hit your city. That large amount of troops behind ECMG with the large amount of nuke that this guy and Sun Tzu can do, that would be tremendously OP against anything. Imagine that they both can do 5 targets at a time. They both have Rage Restore 100, and this guy goes up to 250 depending on how many targets he hits. They both have skill damage increase. They both do fan shape area damage. So that is tremendous amount of damage these 2 commanders can do, especially in a garrison when there's freaking millions of troops, or you know, at least I have millions of troops. This is another very good combination for a garrison. Other epic combinations for a garrison, I've seen a lot of people using Scipio. Well, Scipio is not really strong for garrison. He has his 2nd and his 4th skill, which are really useless in garrison. Let's not go on his talents, that he doesn't even have garrison talents. So I've seen a lot of people putting Scipio as a main commander just because they see damage taken reduced. For garrison, if I would have to use Scipio, I would use him as a 2nd in command. That is correct. You already seen me that I use Boudica, but now because of the proper garrison talents, I would use Boudica as a 2nd in command to another garrison commander. My second option after ECMG Moondog as a free-to-play, it would most likely be Pelagius. Now you're probably wondering why I'm choosing Pelagius. For the reason that he has healing that doesn't have a cooldown. So he can pop this healing depending on how many groups hit your city. Then his garrison skill increase your watchtower and your garrison attack. And then he has a nuking skill that has Rage Restore, so it would help you keep casting the main skill. So as a main commander, Pelagius can be a garrison commander as well for free to play. Then another option would be Kusunoki. As I mentioned, for their talent pad, I'll pop them now. Since I'm talking about this, let me just pop them up. So I mentioned Pelagius. Alright, so this is Pelagius. This is Pelagius garrison talent pad. I'm just gonna move away for a little so you guys can see. This is Pelagius Garrison talent path. You can see that you have rejuvenate in there, so it's the same. You do the green, you do the red, then you have the blue and the yellow. So after Pelagius, I mentioned is Kusunoki. I'm trying to find Kusunoki, and here it is, Kusunoki talents. So these are Kusunoki's talents. These are the talents that I would advise for Garrison. You have Rejuvenate, and he is a nuker or a skill damage dealer, so it's very important to also try to boost his or their skill damage, because that's gonna be their main skill that they're gonna keep doing damage. And since you have a large number of troops in your city, they're definitely gonna do a lot of damage. Again, green, red, blue and yellow. Alright, now the reason I'm choosing Kusunoki as a third option for the free to play is mainly because his Garrison counter-attack damage, that is really thin counter-attack damage for your Garrison. His force skill is very strong if you get surrounded, but as I mentioned, if you're a free to play and you get surrounded, your chances are next to zero. So that's why he would be a third option for your Garrison commander. Another commander that I would classify on the third option for your Garrison is gonna be Herman. The only reason is because increase Garrison and Watchtower attack by 7%, so it's attack, which is proper attack, and then you have 10% more damage to your troops and additional 10% that you can grant additional rage. Plus at 1150 damage factor, if you have a large number of troops in your city, he will definitely do some damage. And decrease the target's rage or silence, that's pretty significant. I haven't seen doing anything really that great. But the nuking damage, that will definitely do a lot of damage. 1150 damage factor, that is quite a lot. So as a third option, as a main commander in your Garrison, is gonna be Herman. Any pairs you want to make with this commander, you want to put second in command to them, Joan of Arc, Scipio, Boudica, they're gonna work. They're gonna work a second in command. Or you want to use, let's say, Eugi Moondog and you want to put second in command Pelagius, it's gonna be okayish. The reason I'm saying okayish is because this guy has defense, this guy has attack and heal, and they are both nukers. Their main skill, they are both for nuking. If you use Joan of Arc, if you use Scipio, their main skill, they are a little bit defensive, so it grants you a little bit of defense in the same time in your Garrison. That would be about it. To be honest, that would be your options for your defense. If you want to use Julius Caesar for your defense in your Garrison, if you have him upgraded, for example, if you have his second skill upgraded or maxed out and his main skill, these two skills, they are going to help you a lot in your defense. And when you want to choose your commander for your Garrison, you need to check a little bit his skills, how they will benefit your Garrison. It's not when you're defending your city, is not the same time when you're attacking players. It's slightly different because you have larger amount of troops, and some skills from some commanders, when you have large amount of troops, they actually become really useful and very good in defending. Alright, so I think that would be pretty much about everything. As I mentioned, there are commanders that are really good if your city is getting surrounded, but if you're free to play, you really have no chances. If you have the numbers, then you do have, and as I mentioned, Kusunoki is good for that, Eugi Moondog is good for that. they will help you quite a lot. So, for example, another good pair would be Eulji Moondog with Boudica. They have a good synergy with their both force skills. Boudica can reduce the damage of the main target that is hitting your city, and Eulji can reduce the defense of the target. Alright, so that's enough talking about defending and how to protect your city. That was quite too long. There's gonna be more links into the description about many other stuff. I'll probably put the links for my war videos as well. Until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. That's it. I had enough. Peace out, yo. Take care. And Merry Christmas.